Here we go. And make sure you're, oh, I'll mute you then. I'm doing it, so there's a few of you. There we go, all muted. Right, so we're going to start standing, do a nice little body scan and some mobility. So standing nice and tall, getting your feet just comfortably on the floor, round about hip distance apart, hips, knees and toes more or less looking forwards. Looking down, my knee joint, my patella is kind of lined up with my second and third toe. That's just something to be aware of. Just going to lift my toes up and relax my feet down. I'm going to lift my toes up and relax my feet down. Lift my toes up, give them a wiggle and relax them down. I'm going to roll my shoulders back and down, so I'm doing both ends. And while I'm doing that, I'm thinking about, as I said, my zippy area being done up, okay? Then all I'm going to do is tuck my chin towards my chest and then exhale as I look back. And tuck my chin towards my chest and I'm going to exhale and I look back. And as you're doing that, I want you to carry on doing that while I'm talking to you. I want you to be aware of what feels tight. If it feels very tight at the back of your neck, up by your ears, down one side, or perhaps your shoulders. So just be aware, feel what's going on with all those areas while we do this movement. Yeah, guys, right, they're all on my mat again. Really? Off the mat, please. Tuck the chin to the chest, and this time look back and woggle your jaw. Is anyone's jaw really tight when they did that? Did anyone notice that? And bring your chin back down, so keep going, keep tucking it down, big breath in, exhaling back, opening the mouth and wobbling the jaw. And just seeing how tight it feels right in that joint, and that jaw right in there and along. Okay. Then we're going to stop and we're just going to keep our head beautifully stacked on top of our vertebrae. Our hands are down the side of the body and we're just going to turn our hands forward and back. We're just going to do that 5 times gently. So curving the shoulders round, keeping the core muscles contracted, no movement anywhere else. Then I'm going to take that to my bra strap and I'm just going to bend in on my body. But I'm going to, as I bend, I feel like I'm sort of bending into my waistband. Yeah, not my waistband, my bra band I should say, sorry. And my waistband a bit actually. When I've done that 5 times, I'm then going to go from my waistband. So I really feel like my waistband at the front is pushing into my tummy. Just going to do that nice and gently. Okay, and then I'm going to double up on that a little bit. I'm going to wrap one arm around the other. Can you wrap the arms around the other? And I'm just going to link my fingers. Can you do that? And then all I'm going to do for now is take a big breath in, tuck my chin towards my chest and curl. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do that once more. I'm going to tuck my chin towards the chest, big breath in. I'm going to exhale and curl. Really can feel that all around my upper back, bra strap area come up. Then undo the arms, wrap them around the other way, link. And then when you're ready, big breath in, tuck the chin towards the chest, close your eyes if you want, curl in. Now I was a lot tighter on the other side, by the way. This isn't so bad this side. Now go again. And then take it out, release. Now bring your ear, right ear to the right shoulder for the stretch and then gently stretch away. And then stand up, take a big breath in. Now bring the left ear to the shoulder, feel the stretch in the neck before you go anywhere. Then exhale, come over. Good girls. I'm going to do the same thing again. Big breath in, exhale, drop the right ear to the shoulder, feel the stretch, and then exhale over. And back to the center, same thing, big breath in, exhale over. Okay, good girls. All right, so we did neck, shoulders, and waist all at the same time. Now take your hands lightly and just keep your hips still, go twist and twist, just gently from side to side, gently. Try and keep your hips, knees, and toes forward, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulders. And then just try and stretch one and the other hand away slightly further. Very, very gently, very gently. Okay, good. Now coming down, place the hands on your crest of your hip bones, yeah, your pelvis, and just gently push yourself around to circle. So if you can see, my upper body is staying completely still, but you can see from my hands, there's quite a lot of movement. I'm really manipulating through my pelvis, yeah? Then go back the other way. So when I do this, I do stick my bum out and then I tuck it under. But if you look, my shoulders aren't really, I'm not like wobbling like a weeble, yeah? Then still standing here, I'm going to tilt, tuck my pubic bone under and tuck it back. Tuck it under and back. So if I put my hands here, you can probably see more. Tilt and back out. Just gently tilt, and again, just be aware, feel how that feels on your lower back, etc. Is it very, very tight? Do you feel all right? Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then stop. Now I'm going to move into the hips a little bit more, okay? So carefully, I'm going to take my right foot in front, dip my toe in the imaginary water, and swoosh it round and bring it in front. We're going to do that 5 times. If that's too much, if only you could just keep your toe on the floor and just roll out from your hip bone. If you can, we do the like half circle out. You're going to do 5 on one side, girls, and then you're going to do 5 on the other. Do it slowly, not fast. You want to really feel that. Yeah? And if you're having trouble, you just keep the big toe on the floor and just roll it out from the hip. Okay? When you've done 5 on each side, I'm going to reverse it. So I'm going to go back to the other one. I'm going to take it behind me and circle forward. I'm going to go behind me and circle forward. Or I'd keep my toe on the floor and just roll in. Yeah? 5 times, and then please repeat on the other side. Everyone all right? Hopefully yes, good. Okay, good girls. When you've done that, and I mean, do take your time. If you've got your Pilates ball handy, stick it between your knees. If you haven't, put one fist between your knees, squeeze the fist, so bent over, and then just roll, but keep your feet on the floor firmly. Just 5 times in one direction. And then I'll change and put the other fist between my knees and I'll roll out that way. But I'm trying to keep my feet flat on the floor. Can you feel that? So you have a little bit of pressure. You've got to have pressure on whatever's between your knees. That's it. Relax a bit. You're all like very serious right now. Okay, then stop. Release the ball or take your fists out. So we've gone down through the knees, right down. So now all that's left is feet. Okay? So lift the toes. Now rock up onto the balls of the feet and then rock back onto the heels. Rock up onto the balls, rock up, back onto the heels. Keep that rock going incredibly gently. Use your core muscles or assist yourself. Hold on if you need to. Linda, relax your shoulders, darling. They look really, that's better. Looks really tense then. And just gently rock up and down. Make sure your ankles aren't rolling in or rolling out. You're just rolling forward and back on your feet, yeah? You're not rolling in or out. That's it, good, 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 good. Feel okay? All right, now, all we're going to do is we're going to pummel through. So we're going to push up and down through one foot the other. But if you look at me, I just go straight up and down. I'm not waddling side to side. I'm just going straight up and down. And I'm really working through my feet. Can you see? I mean, I'm really, really pushing through so my toes splay open. Are we all okay with that? Yeah, so hopefully you've really felt from the head down to the toes how your body is feeling today. All right, so I'm going to start taking you down to the floor now. So stop, relax your feet. 10 rolls to come down to the floor. So take your time. I don't want you to get to the floor on the first one. I want you to gradually peel one vertebra away from a time. You ready? So here we go. So one at a time, tucking the chin towards the chest, and just rolling into your body a little bit, and then rolling back up. So I really don't want you to go low. If you go too low, you kind of miss it. So when I first do it, I only get my hands sort of mid-thigh, but I'm really rolling into my waistband. So I want you to concentrate. So those of you who went all the way down to your shins, I want you to make it smaller. I want you to make it much smaller. So first of all, I took my hands just to my mid-thigh. Then I gradually went down to the top of my knee, and then gradually my knee, and I gradually worked down. Obviously, I'd rather you were thinking one vertebra at a time, but if it makes sense to you where I said with your hand placement down your thighs, try that, whatever works. I just want it smooth. Now I'm just going to bring the laptop down, so if you are looking at me, it might be a bit like, oh my God, what's happening here? Whoops, just knocked everything over. Let's see exactly what sort of day I'm going to have today. Keep it nice and smooth, guys. You can see me. Yeah, we're doing great. You're just going to take your time. You've got a whole 10 to get down here with me. A whole 10. When you do get down here, you're going to walk it out into your planky position, whether you put your knees down to get there and walk it out, or whether you do straight arms and legs. So for some of you, it would be roll down and walk out like that. And for some of you, it'll get down, put your knees down, and then walk it out. Whatever you need to do. Take your time. I want you to enjoy this transitional move rolling down. Now, I'm sipping my mint tea while I watch you, because I want you to take your time. Have you still got a core contraction? So remember, I just said doing up your zip area. You might be going with your pelvic floor or your transverse abdominis, I don't mind. When you do get into your plank, I want you to hold that for 10 breath cycles. Now, whether that's straight legs or knees down, it doesn't matter, you choose. Squeeze between your shoulder blades, look along the floor and breathe. So you're in, once you've come down, so we should all be down by now really. Yeah, we should all be down really. So if you haven't already, come down now. And just go into your plank for a couple of breath cycles, because most of you have come out of that now. And then when you're ready, sit back into child's pose. Have a little slurp of your drinkies if you would like to. Now, while we're just having a moment, maybe you're having some water, maybe you're drinking your tea. I can see all of you apart from my lovely Yvonne. So Yvonne, if it doesn't cause you too much stress, see if you can just angle it so that rather than seeing the telly and that lovely picture on the wall, I could actually see you. If it causes you stress, it's fine. As long as you can hear and see me, that's okay, don't worry. But obviously if I could see you, it would be a little bit helpful. But I don't want to cause her stress. If it's causing you stress, you leave it. Once you've had your drink, you're just going to come back. We're going to sit down. We're relaxing down. If you can't, that's perfect, Yvonne. If you can't get your forehead down to the floor, just rest it in your hands and relax. Try and sink into the mat. Now, you might have your knees a bit wider. You might have your knees a bit more narrow. It's entirely up to you. Most of us have our knees wider so our bodies sink down in between them, I think, really. And while you're in that position, I want you to now just do your big toes up, put your big toes on each other, and then get your knees as wide as you can get them and sink down. Just sink down into the floor. Just gently. Look, even if that means having your head up and sinking down, that's okay. Do whatever you can do, yeah? Now, all I want you to do now is I want you to come onto your forearms, but keep your knees wide. Look, I've got my elbows in together. And then I'm just going to look forward, but I'm going to push my bum down. Can you get that amazing stretch between your shoulder blades? Can you do it? Imagine that I'm standing behind you, gently putting pressure between your shoulder blades, pushing you down into the mat. Can you get it? Give me a little wave if anyone's feeling this. So right between your shoulder blades, it should feel pretty damn good. So those of you who are sitting a lot with work, you're at a desk or something, this is going to be a really good one to do. From there, can you just start pushing your hands up and just bring your body up straight? I hope you can see me because I've got a baggy top on. My knees are really wide, so I didn't come right up. Kate, you've gone straight to the ankles. And then I was going to gently come back and see if you could sit tall. Relax your shoulders down. So lengthen my spine, but I'm sort of sitting into it. Yeah, I've got to stretch up my shins, my feet, open up through my hips and my groin. Then when you're ready, bring your hands back in front. Bring your knees in slightly. Come over and tuck your feet under. Just curl your feet under. Now again, if any of you have got arthritis in your foot joints, in your toes, you need to do this very carefully. Some of you will just be here and that's enough. Those of you who feel you can take it, I'm just going to gently put some weight back onto my heels. And then I might eventually get to this position, but don't worry if it's too much. Some of you do it easy and think, what's she talking about? I can do that. And others will be like, oh my God, that's really intense. You all right? Linda, you all right, darling? Can you feel that nice stretch out your arches? Hopefully, good girl. Okay, when you're ready, guys, I want you to come back down. Now, I'm going to keep you on all fours before taking you down. Now, I'm going to work through two different mobility exercises first. The first one is I'm going to do that bend in, stretch, thread the needle. Now, I'm hoping to do 5 each side. If that gets too much on one wrist, I want you to just alternate. We're doing 10 in total. So if that means you just do 1 each side or 2 each side, that's fine. If you can cope with the 10, let's do it. If you've got a yoga block at home and your wrists get a bit uncomfortable, if you put your hand on the edge of your yoga block, it takes the pressure off. Ready? Come on in, ladies. So I'm going to keep angling myself. So if I'm half on my and half off my mat, just ignore that. You stay fully on. I'm going to take my right arm. I'm going to take my big breath in as I close. I'm going to exhale incredibly slowly as I open. My eyes follow my elbow, and then once I get to the top, I'm going to see if I can extend my arm and just squeeze back a bit more. I'm then going to take a big breath in. I'm going to exhale. I'm going to come under. Now that holding arm is going to start to bend. I'm going to thread under my armpit, and I'm going to rest my shoulder and my ear on the floor. I'm going to stay here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to go again on the same side. Now remember what I said, if it's too much on your wristy, your elbow, your shoulder, you can alternate each time. It's up to you. I'm just going to try and stay with 5 on the same time. Now notice, I'm not telling you how fast or how slow to go. I want you to concentrate, take yours as much as you can, and then relax down for like 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to stop and watch you. As long as you're going slow and controlled, that's the main thing. Think about your breathing. Think about your elbow going as far as you can. Hold it there and only extend the arm up once you've held that elbow up. I want that extended arm just to take it a bit more. And then when you're relaxing down, it should just feel lovely. So, Yvonne, remember, if possible, when you come down, yeah, you're not laying fully down. Keep going for me. Big breath in, bring it in. Exhale, rotate slowly. Right, much too fast. Much too fast. And Yvonne, I'm not laying down. So you know you've laid your whole body down. I definitely wasn't laying my whole body down. So I want you to watch me again. You guys carry on. Yvonne, eyes on Emma. Yvonne. Yvonne! Stay there a minute, watch me. Big breath in slowly. Exhale, rotate slowly. Open up slowly. Big breath in and exhale. As you come down, you stay on your knees and you just there, just that bit down. Leave your arse in the air. Go again, darling. Yvonne had made it a new move. Although I have to say, Yvonne, I'm pretty impressed you could get right over like that and get back up. Pretty impressive stuff, woman. And then that's it, stay there. Keep your arse in the air, good girl. And then come back out. Guys, I'm hoping you're continuing. And remember, we were trying to do 5 each side or just 10 in total. Whether that was alternating, whatever, I don't mind. I'm going to try the other side now. But it's just slowing it down. Look, it's a continuous movement. So that big breath in. When I'm doing that exhale away, I literally go, guys. Look, the furthest point I can away from me with my elbow bent, I don't actually extend my arm up until I've got there. And I've held it a little bit. Okay? You're all doing beautifully. But this is why I like to be able to see you. So if you've suddenly started doing anything weird and wonderful, I can go, hello, is that a new move? Basically, you're doing great, right? So you want to keep doing that rotation in, that rotation out. And if there was any reason that we couldn't go face, sort of like be looking down, we could be doing it here. I could be doing a stretch and a thread slightly more upright. But obviously you just need to let me know if there's any problems. I can always tweak the move. So the tweaked move would be here, pulling back, rotating, and then threading under here. Okay? So there's always a way. Yvonne, are you alright? She's collapsing, she's rolling around the carpet. Yvonne, remember I'm supposed to be serious when I'm doing Pilates, so don't make me start giggling, alright? At any point, if you need to sit back and rest, or come back down to this position, I think this is nice. When you sit back here and you're on your forearms, you can just release your wristies. You know, you can take off quite a load of pressure without having to have your face too low. Obviously, if your knees are getting fed up, yeah, or your hips, come and lay in a prone position, because that's where I'm going next, all right? So when you've done your 10 in total, most of you are going to lay down in your prone position. Those of you who aren't, you'd be here with me doing, you know, doing the VW, yeah? So we're going to do VW. If you need to be on your knees, it's that one, yeah? That's normally a hammer move, but you guys are normally on your tummy. You all right? Okay, so with your feet, you've got two options. You either completely relax your feet, turn your toes in and drop your heels out. If you're happy with that, great. If you find that when you're doing this there's a bit of pressure on your lower back, you're better off to flex your feet and squeeze your bum. I also find that flexing my feet, squeezing my bum helps me pull my tummy in. So it's just something to think about. I'm going to look face down. I'm going to extend my arms out and make my V shape. I'm going to take my big breath in. I'm hovering off the floor. My tummy's tight. And as I exhale, I'm going to go. Oh, there it is. There's my W. And then into my V. And then pull it down. There's my W. I want you to do 10 in total, if you can count. If you can't count, don't worry, I'll give you a rough idea when to stop. Now you can either hover your arms off the floor, or if you find it better, you can slide your hands along the floor. It's up to you. The main thing here is focus on the extension of your spine, stretching out through your vertebrae, almost as if someone's got you by the ears, pulling you along the floor in front. And the other thing, and most importantly, is don't be pushing anything into the floor. You don't want to push your rib cage, your tummy, your belly button, your girly bits. Don't push anything into the floor. It's hard not to, so that's why if you need to flex your feet and clench your bum a wee bit, of course you can. Try and just keep thinking about that extension. Think about the stress and strain of life and gravity pushing down on your head and shoulders, and those little squishy discs in between those vertebrae get all compressed. We're lengthening out, giving them a little bit of movement, a bit of space and lengthening through your body. So instead of being all compressed and squished, you're lengthened and fabulous. When you've done your 10th and final one, if you know when that is, you'll just lay down and just turn your head to face me so I know you're done. You just turn your head and relax. Is everyone okay? Princess, are you okay? I've got a little dog on the mat with me here. Oh, hello. You want to do Pilates, Princess? I think Princess wants some Pilates. Okay, girls, when you're ready, I want you to just roll over onto your side to face me. Obviously, we'll be doing both sides, so just remember which side you start with. Now, if you've got your yoga blocks or cushions and you want to stick them under your head for comfort, grab your yoga block or cushion and put it under your head. If you're okay, we'll just bend our arm in. You're right, girl. What's wrong? You're trembling and you're cold. We're freezing you to death because we won't put the heating on. She's a poor frozen dog. So come and lay down. Okay, looks like Princess is laying down too. Pull your ribs away from the floor. So bring your shoulder underneath. Do you remember? You remember whenever I used to say it's any sideline, don't extend out the top arm. You can't see because I've got a baggy top on, but pull your rib cage in. Pull your waist away from the floor and push your hips away. I've got my 90-degree angle in front. I'm going to do 2 separate moves today, so we're going to take our time. We're going to extend that top leg out. We're going to do our circles. If it helps, keep your hand in front if that stops you rolling your hips back. It's important your hips and chest stay square to me. I'm going to lift my leg and I'm going to do 5 circles forward and 5 circles back. If you need to rest at any point, rest. Slow, go. So 5 circles. Now some of you might make the circles big, some of you might make them smaller. By having this 90 degree in front, there shouldn't be any pressure through the hip on the floor. Can you engage your core? You're not wobbling your hips around, are you? And then I'm going to stop and reverse. But if I needed a break in the middle, I would just put my legs together and pat my bum, because that is actually pretty damn tight, I'm not going to lie. Then when I'm done, I'm just going to release, and bring it back down. Now girls, did you manage to keep your rib cage pulled in? Did you manage to keep your tummy tight? And did you not rock your hips back? Were we all right? Keep your knees together, but now take your feet in line with your bum. Can you do that? Yeah, you got it. Again, absolutely essential, keep your ribs pulled in. Keep your knees in alignment. If it helps, put your hand here or even put your hand under your ribs. Slowly clam. So open and close slowly for 10, but I don't touch down. Watch those hips, don't roll them back. So 10, really slow. This should feel incredibly heavy. You can feel all these muscles here working to stabilise that hip joint. You also strengthen all the muscles around it, tendons, ligaments. If it gets too much, just stop, rest, give it a rub, anything you need to get through this move. When you finish your 10, I'm hoping you'll keep it open and you'll just gently pulse it up small to 10. But what's happened with your waist? Pull your waist in, draw it in, imagine you're in a corset. If that is a step too far, you stop. Yeah, this is hard, deep, deep work. Then when I've done my 10, I bring it in front, I give it a rub and I think, oh my God, that was horrendous. Are we all okay? Yeah, you with me? Now, remember which leg worked. Come over onto all fours again. The leg you just worked. I want you to keep your toe in contact with the floor and just circle out. Just circle out from your hip if you can. It's not the easiest move to do, try. If that feels okay, lift the foot off the floor and circle out. And if that feels okay, fully extend behind you and circle back in. Just do that a couple more times. And then stop. Sit back, opening up the knees, sit back, sink down, sink as low as you can into the floor with those knees wide, releasing the pressure through the hips and the groin, release down. Then come back up. And we need to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Now you could of course just roll over, but otherwise you won't be able to see me, so I need to come down and turn around. Obviously smoother transitions would be nicer, but I need to be able to see you. I'm going to come down, lay on my side, and again, look, I don't stretch my shoulder out, I put it almost under, so it almost feels wrong to have that shoulder under there. I could then put my yoga block under my head, or today I'm just keeping my hand under my ear. I've got my 90-degree angle with my legs, my knees are in line, my hips are definitely looking at you, and my rib cage is pulled off the floor. Sometimes I do have to hold my ribs to make sure I keep in, especially if my shoulder's uncomfortable. Now if you'd had a jab or anything, it's flu jab time, you would have needed to extend your arm out so there's less pressure and have your head resting on a block or a cushion. Yeah? This puts a bit more pressure on your shoulder. Are you all ready? Engage your core, incredibly important. Extend that leg out, point that toe if you can, and let's go. 5 forward, slowly. It's no good doing it fast, slow is better. Big or small is entirely up to you. Try and relax the shoulder back, pull the rib cage in. Then of course we're going to reverse it back. I've got a pointy toe. I'm imagining drawing circles on the wall with my toe. Keep it nice and slow, the slower the better. When I've done that 5 in each direction, I'm bringing my leg in, I'm giving it a rub because it is screaming. Hopefully yours just feels good. Once I've done that, I've got my knees together, I've dangled my feet back in line with my bum, I've pulled my ribs in again, and I'm going to clam. 10 very slow open closes, off we go, but you mustn't let your hips roll back. I can't stress how important it is that your chest and hips are square with me. If you need to keep your clam smaller, you can make your clam small. If you can make your clam big, fabulous. Just do what works for you. I don't want you to be in discomfort. I find this really hard, by the way, girls. I literally feel like my leg weighs 10 stone. Honestly, it's shockingly bad. When I get to the end of my 10, I have no idea because I was talking to you. I'm going to hold it up and I'm just going to gently pulse it up, keeping the feet together. Oh, this is awful. So keep the feet together and keep it going. That's lovely. When you've done your 10 little squeezes at the top, bring your leg back down or even in front and give it a really good rub, laying down. I just sat up because I want to see you, all right? When you've done that, and don't worry if I'm leaping ahead of you, I want you to roll over onto all fours. We should be able to just roll over. You shouldn't have to need to move. Just roll over. And I want to circle out, yeah? So I'm just going to circle away from my body like I did on the other side. I'll start with my toe on the floor, just circling. If that feels okay, I keep a bent leg, but I come off the floor. And if that feels okay, I extend my leg fully out as I go away. So I just make my circle bigger. You're going to do that a couple more times. Lovely. Then you're going to push yourself back again, knees wide, feet low. Sit right back down into it, opening up. Good girls, keep it going. That's it, sit right back, sink. Get your knees even wider if you can, with your head down on the mat. And then when you're ready, I need you to come up to seated with me. I need you to come up to seated. So I want you to make that transition as smooth as you can. Good girls. Now, because we've just done all that work that we've done, supporting around the hip, the pelvis, your hips and your pelvis really are your central bit, makes so much difference to what's going on in your body. We're going to take our leggies out. We're just going to sit either hands on the floor behind you or in front, whatever you want to do. Normally having my hands just lightly down either side helps. Now, I'm doing swivel hips, but if you notice, I am leaning back slightly. Now, my hips are tight today. They're very tight, actually. So I'm just mobilising after all that hard work we just did. You just bring it down as low as you can take it. You're not just rolling around the floor side to side. Some of you are moving your body an awful lot. If you look at me, my body isn't moving, but my legs are. So if you're doing this, you're not actually doing swivel hips, okay? So look at me again. Those of you who've switched off and you're in your own zone, peep at me. Your body stays still. Then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to sit up tall this time. I'm going to straighten one leg away. I'm sat up tall, and I'm carefully going to bring one knee in. Wow, blimey, and open. Anyone else a bit old blimey? We're just going to do 5 roll it ins and roll it out, so be careful. Hopefully it's getting a bit better. And when you've done 5, you're going to swap to the other side. Slowly sit up nice and tall. Oh, now I thought my other one was bad. This one's really bad. Anyone else having a bit of trouble with this one? Some of you look really lovely and loose and flexible. I thought I'd be better now after all those moves, but I'm not. Mine are really tight. Just goes to show, doesn't it, guys? I've got like a bit of pain going on with my jaw. I'm not sleeping well, and it's knocked the whole alignment of my body out. Terrible, who knew? And then stop. Hug your legs into your body and really curl around so you're stretching out your upper back. Give it a really good stretch and wiggle. That's it, good girls. And then when you're ready, we're going to sit into our L shape. Ready? Big breath in, exhale. Oh, sit as tall as you can and bring it round. Then hug your legs in again, hug and squeeze, then take a big breath in, and you know what I'm going to say, exhale, L shape, straight legs and bring it round. Now, I'm in a seated position. I'm going to do a very gentle rolling up movement, and I'm going to add that rotation in with it, okay? So we did this last week. Reminder, first bit was, do you remember when we used to just do that? Yeah? Now, you start doing that while I show you how we're going to do it. Eventually, you might come all the way down, you might not. You might come all the way up, you might do a flop, and then the next time you might do the one pull back, and then the other pull back. That's what I'm building up to. So to start, no, you're just tilting. All you were supposed to be doing was tilting. Good girls, that's better. Don't go straight for the dessert. Build up. Gently. And I'll tell you why, when you do this move, it's such a good move, but so many people stick their bellies out. Don't stick your bellies out. Draw them in. Do your zip up so it's not popping. Relax your thighs, relax your hip flexors. Now, if that felt good, by all means, take the arms out and let's start going a little bit lower. Yvonne, are you all right, darling? Yeah, she looked a bit like, oh, I had enough then. So I'm not twisting, I'm just dipping. I'm not twisting, I'm just dipping. Yeah? Let's get that right first. It's no good keep adding moves on until we're ready. Try and relax those thighs now. If you're ready, only in the middle, I'm going to add that big stretch. Exhale and flop. Let's do a couple more of those before I add the rotation. I obviously confused you by showing you what I was going to do. I thought I'd show you what the end result should be and then build up to it. And some of you are still just going for it. Good girls. Let's try that just a couple more times. Now, I don't know about you, when I'm doing this, my thighs, my inner thighs, everything else is working, but I'm really trying to relax that. So if they're taking over, you stop and shake your legs out. Obviously those muscles are going to be working as well, they're stabilising you, but I don't want them to take over. So if they're taking over, rest them. Now I think we're ready. So we're going to dip down to wherever you're going. You don't have to go to the floor, just go to wherever you can. Sit, flop, and then add the rotation. Now add that rotation and sit tall, and then add that rotation and sit tall. And even that, I'll do it face on. So all the way down to wherever you are comfortable with. Some of you will be floor, some of it won't. Up, flop, and then when I do the rotation, look, can you see? One hand's here, and I just bring that one back. I sit tall, and that just, oh, it feels so good. Are we all okay? Give me a little thumbs up or down. Yeah, we all right? You're doing really, really good. Just whenever you need to, release the legs out. Some of you will do this with dead straight legs, and most of you will do it with bent legs. It doesn't matter. You do what's right for you. I don't mind. There's not really a wrong or a right. You've got to remember we're all different. I can just give you the general bit. But you look good though, so that's the main thing. It looks good. Now I'm going to ask you to do one more whole sequence of centre to twist and twist. So I want you to do one more centre, twist, twist, and then we're going to hold the centre and we need to get all the way down to the floor to do our shoulder bridge. So I'm only telling you what's coming so that if you need your cushion or whatever for your shoulder bridge, get it ready before you get down. Yeah? So we turn this back round. So now I've done that, I'm going to roll down slowly. If you get stuck, hold the back of your thighs, put your elbows down, whatever you need to, come down. Do a full body stretch for me. Stretch and wiggle above your head. Oh, point your toes, stretch and wiggle, feel that. It should feel great. And then if you're able, always think about my little Clodagh here. If you're able, swish your arms around. If you're not, just bring them down. Bring them down and then hold them halfway between your hips and your shoulders. Bend one leggy up, bend the other leggy up. Okay, girls, yeah, so we're going to do shoulder bridge and we're going to do basic shoulder bridge. So the first bit will be the tilting, then we'll lift, no arms, and then we'll add on, yeah? Get your feet as close to your butt as you can get it. So if that means adjusting your body and completely moving, you move, it's fine. I have to completely move to get there. Now, my feet and my knees are about a fist distance apart. Now, I normally do prefer to put my ball or my block between my knees, but I didn't grab mine, so I'm just going to try and freestyle it. I'm thinking about my pelvic floor. Can you think about going up for your pelvic floor? Yeah, have you got a pelvic floor today? Try and squeeze up inside. Imagine that bath full of eels. And once you've done it, just start rocking. Now, if you do, I don't know if you can see, if I lift this up, watch. When I rock, I'm not lifting my bum off the floor, I'm tilting my pelvis. So look, if I put my hands here, it's like there's handles on my pelvis, and I'm just rocking my girly bits towards my belly button, and then I'm coming back down. Really exaggerate that. I think sometimes when we know a move, we don't go through the basic part enough. Now while I'm doing that and I'm squeezing up through my pelvic floor, yeah, I'm trying really hard to relax my bum, thighs and feet. And minimal contraction through your bum isn't the end of the world, but relaxing your feet and your thighs is important. Now I'm going to bring my top back down, otherwise I've got a ridge. If you're ready, tuck it in, big breath in, slowly exhale and lift up into your bridge. Pause at the top and look up your body. Make sure everything is in alignment. Sometimes it's surprising how much it isn't. Tilt your pubic bone in at the top and slowly exhale and let each vertebrae sink into the mat. Waistband and then bum. And then we're just going to keep going, working on that big breath in, tuck it in. Slowly exhale to lift up, trying to relax the bum, thighs and feet. At the top, holding it, tucking the pubic bone in. And slowly, slowly coming down. Now I'm going to ask you to keep going, but I want to talk to you. While you're doing this, and the focus is purely on the vertebrae, be aware, are you feeling a little bit wobbly? Are you swaying? Remember, sometimes when we sway to one side, we've all got a more dominant side, but you might be just your dominant side is taking over, your weaker side might be in trouble, you may be tired, your posture just might be out of alignment. I want you to really focus on getting each vertebrae down one at a time. And if you are swaying, that's a good indication you need to minimise your move, make it smaller. What about, is it jerky? Are you managing to get your waistband down gently before your tailbone? Or is it a bit of a drop? If it's a drop there, concentrate, slow it down, maybe go back to the tilt. Now, if everything's going okay and you're feeling good, would you like to add your arms? You don't have to. I actually love adding the arms. So all I'm going to do is, as I tuck in, I'm going to lift my arms, bringing the back of the hand towards my face, but keeping my shoulders on the floor. I'm going to stop with my fingertips looking at the ceiling and make sure I haven't overarched. Then I turn the back of the hands and I come down. So the back of the hand basically is looking in the direction you're going. So if I'm tilting up towards my face, the back of my hand is coming towards my face. And if I'm coming back down to the floor, the back of the hand is coming down to the floor. Now, if you've managed to do all of that and everything's still going well, if you really want to, you can take your hands all the way up so they come right up parallel with the ears, but you've got to make sure you haven't flared your ribs. And then come down. I like it. I really like that move. See how you feel. If adding arms enhances the move, do it. If adding arms tips you over the edge, go back to basic. Now, be honest with me, has anyone still got a pelvic floor contraction? I want you to give me a little wave of your hand if you've still got one. Yeah? Focus. Good girls. Think about the bath full of eels. Think about gripping your pencil. Think about an internal zip. Or think about a tunnel, closing the walls in so nothing can go through that tunnel. Whatever makes sense to you. I would like you to do 3 more, just 3 more complete bridges, as smooth as you can make it. Work with the breathing. The breath makes all the difference to this movement. A big breath in at the top and bottom, like filling up with energy, and exhaling on that journey as you use up the energy. When you've done your 3rd and final one, which will be fairly soon, I'm going to ask you to just hug your legs into your body. And when I hug my legs in, I'm going to take my knees wide but keep my feet, my big toe kind of done up. And then I'm going to hold at the back of my thighs and my elbows there, because I'm going to then circle my hips. But by having my elbows wide, it's going to just stop me rolling too far. Now when I circle my hips, I'm not arching my back off the floor. Yeah, I'm just circling, and now I'm going to circle back the other way. Keeping my knees wide, keeping my big toes together. That's better. Just circle gently. Alright, now come back in and bring the legs in. Now, I'm going to do another movement. This is a strengthening one, and I'm going to try and keep your legs and that in the air. If there's trouble with this, I can change it. Now, girls, can you make a 90-degree angle with the back of your leg? At the moment, my legs are still over my body. I'm hoping to rectify that and take my legs to here. But if you're in trouble, you keep your legs over your body so your spine is imprinted. If you can take your legs to there without arching your back or popping your ribs, great, come with me. If not, keep them over, yeah? Hands up, but drop your shoulders into the floor. You all right? You've got it? Very, 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 very slowly. Opposite arm and leg move away from each other. So I lightly tap my heels, so lightly to the floor, I almost don't touch. And I breathe in, come back in. Then I exhale and take the opposite arm and leg, really slow. And then I breathe in, come back in. If that's too much, keep your legs over your body and just tap down one heel then the other. Or keep the legs over the body and attempt one arm and one leg. And even if you can't get to the floor, give it a go. Keep your rib cage drawn in. This has got to be slow though. I mean really slow. Slow down and slow up. Rib cage drawn in, core muscles contracted. I hope you're feeling fabulous. Now, if that's working well and you're feeling like you could take this challenge slightly further, you extend your arms and legs up straight. Be careful. And I just do an opposite arm and leg. And then I bring it all the way up and I take mine all the way down. You don't have to, you could go part way in the middle if you want to. Slowly exhale and slowly breathe in. You all right? Excellent. I want you to do that once more each side, and then I'm going to do one more challenge. When you've done that one more each time, I want you to bring your legs back in, and I want you to actually squeeze your knees and feet together. I want you to flex your feet. I want you to bring your arms so they touch your knees. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, I want you to just push your legs away and your arms away, but pull your ribs in. Then I want you to take a big breath in, pull in, and I want you to exhale away. Now look, I haven't taken my legs very low, and I'm coming in, and I want you to do that 4 more times. Keeping your knees and feet together, flexing your feet, no pointy toes. There's a few pointy toes, flex your feet. And I want you to feel the challenge on your tummy, just like you were planking, but obviously we're doing it on our back. Keep your knees and ankles together, if possible. And then when you've done your 4th and final one, hug your leggies back into your body, hug. Take our knees apart, lift your head and roll, rock. Do at least 5 rocks. Keep rocking gently until you sit up. Are you okay? Now, we're virtually out of time, but I can't not do rolling back, run like a ball. I would feel like I've missed out. So, we're going to do 10 rolling backs. I'm going to encourage you to do V on the floor stretch. And I'm going to try and encourage you to do 10 of those. And the reason I'm going to encourage that one is most of us are a bit locked up in our posterior chain, and this will help. All right, you ready? If you need to do poopy long stockings, of course you can. If you hate this move, you don't have to do it. I'm just hoping you'll do it with me. Engage your core muscles. Tuck your chin towards your chest, and off we go. Take a big breath in, exhale, and stretch. Bring your legs in before you roll, otherwise you'll just be rolling all sorts of dodgy weirdness. Try not to roll onto your neck or your head. Keep going, you look fabulous. Take your time, and when you stretch, look, I stretch on the floor, but really stick my boobs out. I'm not bending down, I'm lengthening. Yeah, so try that. Keep going, you look good, you look fabulous. You look great, girls. They're just little things to make it better. When you roll back, do not roll onto your neck or your head. Keep your chin tucked in towards your chest. It's only when you sit tall, you'll relax your shoulders down, yeah? And if you're still donking your head on the floor, stop. Now, when you get to your 10th and final one, Kate, your 10th and final one, instead of taking your V out, you'll roll up, push yourself forward, and then roll up. Those of you who are mere lesser mortals, we will just flick our legs round. We will come to all fours. We will then get into that position, and then we will slowly roll up, one little vertebrae at a time, really slow and controlled. If you're still going on your 10, that is absolutely fabulous. You take your time. I'm just preempting it so it all ends up together. All right, my loves? So take your time. And if you need to get up slightly different or assist yourself in your sofa or your chair, you're at home. You use what you need to do. Okay, we're looking good. Was that your last one as well, Linda? Okay, so when you're ready, carefully roll over and carefully roll up. Carefully on all fours, no, on all fours, and carefully roll back up, yeah? Good girl. That's it. All that's left to do is our blind balance, because we can't not do that because we've been working on every week, haven't we? And we're all very shocked how we're getting on, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, ladies, when you're ready. Now, if your balance is off, I want you to stand right next to the wall. Even if it means you're lightly with your arm on the wall, that's okay. Don't want you falling over, basically. We'll do it first with our eyes open. So standing nice and tall. Don't be standing on your mat. You need a nice firm surface, and if you're on your carpet, it's definitely harder. Okay, engage your core muscles. Relax your feet. Take your right knee. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lift it up and hold it. Stay here, take a big breath in and exhale. Then take a big breath in, exhale, put your foot down. Preparation breath to the other side, big breath in. Exhale, float it up. Stay here, take a big breath in. Exhale, then big breath in and exhale down. Now, I'm going to add a blind bit in. Big breath in, exhale, lift. Cover your eyes, big breath in. Exhale out, uncover your eyes, big breath in, exhale, lower. Preparation, big breath in, exhale, float. Cover your eyes, close your eyes, take a big breath in. Exhale, take a big breath in, open your eyes, exhale, lower. Now we're going to try the whole thing with our eyes covered. Cover your eyes, close your eyes. If you're struggling, have your eyes open but just cover them so you got a tiny bit done. Preparation breath. Exhale, lift. Hold, big breath in. Exhale out. Big breath in. Exhale, lower. Open your eyes. You alright? Cover or close and cover. Big breath in. Exhale, lift. Ooh. Big breath in, hold. Exhale, hold. Big breath in. Exhale, lower. Open. So I was really good one side, my other was terrible. I didn't fall over, but it weren't great. Are you all okay? Right, we'll just do our little curves to finish and then I'll talk to you. So just 2 of each. So 2 tall, 2 bra band, 2 waistbands. If you want to make it a vigorous ragdoll, you may. And then I want you to do that loop, hands and curl again. Big breath in. Exhale. Then loop the other side. Link hands, curve, open. And then shoulder rolls back, shoulder rolls back, shoulder rolls back. Hands, big breath in, exhale, push, up, down, big breath in, exhale, push, breathe in. One more, exhale, push, breathe in, hands together, give yourselves a little clap, give me a little wave. Zoom crew, come and talk to me. Catch up crew, let me know how you got on.